There's $25,000 sitting in a savings account right now, and the person who owns it thinks they are safe. They are not. They are losing money every single month, and the bank is perfectly happy to let them. Let me show you something. Two people, same income, same job, same exact paycheck, hitting the same exact week. The first one, call her the saver, does what everybody told her to do. She builds up $25,000 in cash, and she parks all of it in one regular savings account at her main bank. She feels responsible. She feels protected. She tells herself she is ready for anything. The second one, call him the strategist, has the same $25,000, but he does three things differently. Three small things. Nothing dramatic, nothing risky. 18 months later, when the economy tightens and both of them feel the squeeze, one of them is genuinely protected, and the other one just found out that the safest thing she ever did was quietly the most expensive. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. The mistake is not having savings. The mistake is how you hold it, and the bank will never, ever tell you the difference. Welcome back to the channel. If protecting your family from the next economic downturn matters to you, you are in the right place. So go ahead and subscribe, because what I am about to walk you through is the kind of thing smart money figured out a long time ago. Now let me be very clear before we go further. Having an emergency fund is not the mistake. You absolutely need cash set aside. Every financial professional agrees on that, and so do I. The mistake is treating a savings account like a finish line, when recession-proof savers treat it like a starting position. They know something most people never get told. A pile of cash sitting still is not safety. It is a slowly leaking bucket, and the leak gets faster the moment a recession actually hits. So let me show you exactly what the strategist did. 4 points. Write them down. Point number 1. He stopped leaving his cash in an account that pays him almost nothing. This is the quietest robbery in America, and it happens in plain sight. The average traditional savings account in this country pays you a tiny fraction of 1%. Some pay as little as 0.38%. Some checking accounts pay even less than that, as low as 0.07%. That is not a typo. That is the bank using your money, lending it out, earning real returns on it, and handing you back almost nothing. Now compare that to a high-yield savings account. The strong ones right now are paying somewhere around 4%. That is not 10% more than a regular account. That is more than 10 times more. Here's what that looks like in real dollars. $25,000 in a regular savings account at the national average might earn you under $100 in a year. That same $25,000 in a high-yield account earning 4% earns you around $1,000 in a year. Same money, same safety, same federal insurance. The only difference is the saver never moved it, and the strategist did. The bank is counting on your loyalty and your laziness. Recession-proof savers refuse to give them either one. Point number 2, he understood the inflation tax and he stopped pretending it was not real. This is the part that actually hurts, so stay with me. When your money sits in cash, it is not frozen in place. It is shrinking, quietly, constantly, because the cost of everything around it keeps climbing. Recent inflation has been running around 3% a year, so picture this. You have a regular savings account paying you basically nothing while prices rise 3%. That means your money is effectively losing about 3% of its real buying power every single year it sits there. Let me put a number on it, because numbers cut through the noise. $10,000 sitting idle loses roughly $300 of real purchasing power in a single year. Scale that up to $25,000 and you are quietly losing around $750 in real value a year. The balance on your screen never changes. That is the trick. It still says $25,000. But what that $25,000 can actually buy at the grocery store, at the gas pump, at the pharmacy gets smaller and smaller. This is what economists politely call the inflation tax. Nobody sends you a bill. Nobody asks your permission. It just happens, every month, to everyone holding lazy cash. And here is the cruel twist for a recession specifically. When a downturn hits, the Federal Reserve usually cuts interest rates. When rates get cut, the yield on your savings account often drops right along with them. So the exact moment you need your money working hardest is often the moment your bank quietly pays you even less. The strategist knows the goal is not just to have the cash. The goal is to make sure that cash does not rot while it waits. Point number 3, he never kept all $25,000 in one single bank. This one is about survival, not just growth, and most people get it completely wrong. In this country, your bank deposits are protected by federal deposit insurance. The coverage is $250,000 per depositor, per insured bank, per ownership category. That is real protection and it works. Banks have failed before, and insured depositors got made whole. So you might be thinking, my $25,000 is way under that limit. I am totally fine. And on the pure insurance math, you are right. But recession-proof savers think one layer deeper. Here is the problem with parking every dollar you own inside one single institution. When a regional bank gets into trouble, and during tight economic cycles some of them do, Your access to your own money can get frozen during the chaos, even when that money is fully insured. The insurance pays out, but payout is not the same thing as instant access on the morning you need to buy groceries or cover rent. So the strategist did something simple. He split his emergency cash across more than one solid federally insured bank. Maybe his main high-yield account at one bank and a second account at another. Now, if one institution has a bad week, he is not locked out of every dollar he owns. He always has a door that still opens. This is not paranoia. This is just refusing to build your entire safety net on a single point of failure. The saver kept everything in one place because it felt simple. The strategist gave up a tiny bit of simplicity to buy himself something far more valuable. Guaranteed access, no matter which bank has the bad headline. Point number 4, he sized his cash on purpose instead of just piling it up. This is the difference between a strategy and a habit. The saver did not actually choose the number 25,000. She just kept saving until the pile looked comforting. There was no target. The number was an accident. The strategist did the opposite. He started with one question. How many months of essential expenses does this cash actually need to cover? Here is the framework recession-proof savers use. You take your essential monthly costs, the real ones, rent or mortgage, food, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments, and you multiply that by the number of months you want to be protected for. In a normal economy, 3 to 6 months is the standard. But in a recession, job hunts take longer. During the last major downturn, the typical stretch of unemployment ran close to 6 months. So in a tightening economy, smart savers lean toward the higher end, 6 months or more of expenses held in safe, accessible cash. So watch how this works. If your essential expenses are around $4,000 a month, then a 6-month cushion is roughly $24,000. For that person, $25,000 in cash is almost perfect. It is intentional. But if your essential expenses are only $2,500 a month, then your 6-month number is around $15,000. That means the other $10,000 is not emergency fund anymore. It is idle money. Money that should be put to work in something built for growth, instead of sitting in cash quietly losing the inflation tax we talked about earlier. The point is not a magic number. The point is that your cash should be measured against your life on purpose. Recession-proof savers hold exactly what they need for safety, and they refuse to let one extra dollar sit there rotting. So, let us put the saver and the strategist side by side one more time. The saver had $25,000, all of it in one bank, in a low-interest account, with no target behind the number, earning almost nothing, while inflation quietly ate it from the inside. She did everything she was told, and she still ended up exposed. The strategist had the exact same $25,000, but he moved it into a high-yield account so it actually earned something. He understood the inflation tax and made sure his money was not rotting while it waited. He split it across more than one insured bank so no single failure could lock him out, and he sized it on purpose against his real monthly expenses, so not $1 was wasted. Same starting money, completely different outcome. That is the whole secret. Recession-proof savers are not richer than you. They are not luckier than you. They just refuse to let their cash sit still and call it safety. The bank account mistake was never about how much you saved. It was always about whether your money was working or just waiting. So here is what I want you to do today. Go look at where your emergency fund actually lives right now. Check the interest rate. Check if it is all sitting in one bank. Check if the number was chosen on purpose or just by accident. If any of that made you uncomfortable, that is good. That discomfort is the first move smart money ever makes. And if this gave you a clearer way to think about your money, subscribe and share it with someone who keeps everything in one account, because they need to hear this before the next downturn, not after. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, or tax advice. All figures and rates mentioned are examples and are subject to change. Please consult a qualified financial professional before making decisions about your own money. Stay focused, stay consistent, stay elite.